Hello everyone, this is Ella Rose here. It's my second attempt at recording this, so I hope this one works. So I had a few questions about the Jewish salute and what does it mean. Okay, so this is by Rabbi Yosef Gershom, May 24th, 2009. The Vulcan Live Long and Prosper salute is based upon a blessing gesture used by the Jewish priests, the Kohanim, during the worship service, which was created by Leonard Nimoy Spock, who drew on his childhood synagogue experiences for the inspiration. The most famous Jewish influence on Vulcan culture in Star Trek is the Live Long and Prosper hand gesture. This Vulcan salute, as it come to be called, was invented on set by Leonard Nimoy during the filming of the second season opening Amok Time. In this episode, Spock goes into something called a mal-estrus cycle, called ponfar in the Vulcan language, comparing himself to a salmon swimming upstream to spawn. Spock tells Kirk that he must return to Vulcan to mate with his betrothed bride, T'Pring, or die trying. The wedding ceremony would be the first glimpse of Spock's homeworld in the series. Nimoy feels that there should be some kind of distinctive greeting among the Vulcans and logs to the handshake or bow. Alan Dean Foster's novelization, based on an early script, had Spock kneeling before the Vulcan matriarch T'Pring, who places her hands on his shoulder like royalty dubbing a knight. But Nimoy didn't care for this. Previous episodes had already established that Vulcans are touch telepaths, therefore a touch to the shoulders would be an invasion of privacy. Instead, Nimoy drew upon his own Jewish background to suggest for the now familiar salute. Back in the 1960s, hippies who watched Amok Time thought the salute was a variation of a two-finger peace sign, but we Jews knew better. The Vulcan salute came not from the protest marches, but from the pulpit of Nimoy's childhood synagogue. The Vulcan greeting is based upon the blessing gesture used by the Kohanim. I apologize for saying these names wrong. During the worship service, the Kohanim are genealogical descendants of the Jewish priests who served in the Jerusalem temple. Modern Jews no longer have priests leading the services as in ancient times, nor do we have animal sacrifices. Yes, people really do ask about that. The sacrificial system ended with the destruction of the temple by Romans in the year 70 CE, Common Era. However, a rampant of the temple service lives on in the Kohen blessing ritual, Duchen in Yiddish. I apologize for saying it wrong again. That is performed on certain holidays. The actual blessing is done with both arms held horizontally in front at the shoulder level, with hands touching the form to form the Hebrew letter Shin. This stands for the Hebrew word for Shadi, meaning Almighty God. Nimoy modifies this gesture into one hand held upright, making it more like a salute. So technically the Vulcan greeting is not the same thing as a ceremonial Jewish blessing. Still, the resemblance is close enough to invoke instant recognition among the knowledgeable Jews. During the synagogue service, the worshippers are not supposed to look at the Kohanim while the blessings are being given. The reason for this is to focus our attention on the words of the prayer itself, rather than the personalities of the Kohanim. The Kohanim are merely the channels, not the source of the blessing, which comes from God. Unfortunately, all sorts of silly superstitions have arisen about this ritual, such as don't look at the Kohanim or you'll go blind, and other nonsense. The real reason is to simply focus on receiving blessings directly from God, not from human beings. Like most Jewish children, young Nimoy could not contain his curiosity about the Kohanim were really doing up there in front of the congregation. He writes, "The special moment when the Kohanim blessed the assembly moved me deeply, for it possessed a great sense of magic and theatricality. I have heard that its interdwelling spirit of God was too powerful, too beautiful, too awesome for any mortal to look upon and survive. And so I obediently covered my face with my hands, but of course I had to peek." From the autobiography, I Am Spock. Nimoy survived his peeking unscathed, and he saw the Kohanim extending their fingers in the mystical Shin gesture. That magical moment remained with him for life, and was there to draw upon years later when he invented the Vulcan salute. Did Gene Roddenberry know that at the time of the filming that the Vulcan salute was based on a Jewish ritual? That question remains unanswered. My sense is he probably didn't, or he would have rejected it on the grounds of it being too Judeo-Christian. More likely, he thought it was a weird variation of the peace sign. Certainly that's how Gentile trekkers saw it for many years. Only much later did Nimoy publicly explain the source of his inspiration. We should also note that the prohibition against peeking only applies during the actual blessing ritual. The gesture itself is nothing secret. You can see it openly displayed in books and on amulets, jewelry, wall decorations, gravestones. Contrary to the urban legend, Nimrod was not violating any Jewish taboos by using this gesture on Star Trek, especially since he modified it from the original version. I, for one, think it's absolutely wonderful that something authentically Jewish has become universally recognized as a greeting of peace. More than anything else in the Trekdom, the Vulcan salute says to me, "Here be the Jews." It also provides a diplomatic way for me to greet female trekkers at the conventions without shaking hands. Orthodox Jews do not shake hands with the opposite sex. I suppose that would be also true if it was an intersexed alien species. On the practical end, the ability to make the salute is a bit tricky. Some say it's hereditary, like a double jointness. I myself can do it easily. According to Nimroy's own account, he spent hours practicing it after he saw it in the synagogue. When the time came to use it, the Vulcan salute on the studio set, it was perfectly executed without a hitch. But actress Celia Lesvosky, who played Tapu, had difficulty making the sign. She had to set her fingers in place first before the cameras rolled, and could only hold it briefly. In later episodes and movies, the irascible Dr. McCoy makes numerous wisecracks about breaking his fingers trying to keep the Vulcan. In addition to the salute itself, the ceremonial use of the "live long and prosper" and its lesser-known reply of "peace and long life" also show a strong Jewish influence. The format is similar to the traditional greeting in Hebrew, "Shalom Aleichem," peace be upon you, and the answer, "Aleichem Shalom," upon you be peace. Muslims have a similar greeting in Arabic. Once again, we see the strong parallel between Vulcan and Middle Eastern cultures. The material is excerpted from the Chapter 4 of the Jewish Themes in Star Trek 2004-2009 by Yasson Gershom. Rabbi Yasson Gershom is a Hellenistic storyteller, teacher, writer. He was born in Berkeley, California in 1947, grew up in Philadelphia area, graduated from Mankato State University in 1975 and was ordained by Rabbi Zalman Shasta Shalami in 1986 and currently identifies as Breslov Hasid. He's best known for his groundbreaking work Beyond the Ashes, Case of Reincarnation from the Holocaust, 1992, and Jewish Tales of Reincarnation, Jason Arson, 2000. He lives with his wife Carol and Noah's Ark of Animals with a small hobby farm in Minnesota. His latest books are The Jewish Themes in Star Trek, Lulu Press, 2009, 8 Candles of Consciousness, Essays on Jewish Nonviolence, Lulu Press, 2009, and his website. Read Rabbi Gershom's article on the meaning of existence. Okay, so I wanted to share that because I'm seeing it a few times, and lots of people are commenting all over YouTube and Twitter that they don't know what it means and they laugh when I say Vulcan. So I had a thought about it where it says the Shin, because Mr. Hallett says that he's the Shin. So it's supposed to be an interdwelling spirit of God. He's also claimed he was Kronos, so time will tell. Anyway, wherever you're in the world, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, good night. Thanks for watching. Be blessed. I love you all. Thank you. Bye.